Okay, our next example just says solve the triangle, and we're given, what's given in this triangle? All three sides. So this one is a side, side, side. So this is the case that we're going to use law of cosines. Now, we're needing all the angles. So it doesn't really matter which one we start with. Let's just start with our cosine of A. Now, let me go back to this previous page. When we started with the formula I had cosine of A, it was this one, right? And then we basically rearranged side. We moved this term to the left. We moved this term to the right so that we have this. And then we divided both sides by 2bc. That gave us this cosine of A formula. So I'm going to use this formula because we've done that previously. So I'm just going to have cosine of A is equal to b squared plus c squared minus a squared divided by 2bc. Okay, and we solved that in the last video, so if you need to look back over that, you may. Alright, now let's plug in our values for this particular problem. B squared, so B, here's B, so this is side B is going to be 3. So that's going to be 3 squared. Alright, C, opposite of C is 6, so that's 6 squared. And A squared is going to be 4 squared over 2 times B times C. Alright, putting that in our calculator, we're going to simplify to, it looks like 29 over 36. So cosine of A is equal to, let me move this over a little bit. Cosine of A is equal to 29 over 36. Okay, we don't want cosine of A, we want to know what? Angle A by itself. So what property allows us to do that? Our cosine inverse, right? So if we multiply this side by the cosine inverse, and we multiply this side by the cosine inverse, then these two will leave us with just angle A is approximately 36.3. 36.3 degrees. Okay, well now we only know one angle. We can't use the 180 degrees because we need to have at least two of them to do that. So it does not matter which of these formulas I want to work with. Either I'm going to try to find angle B or angle C. I can use either one of these to solve for the next one. Let's just do B. It's next in the alphabet. Alright, so let me pull that formula. I will take you through this entire one as well. So first of all, let me write down my formula. Let's see. B squared is equal to A squared plus C squared minus 2 times A times C cosine of B. Now, just like we did previously, and I'll take you through this one time, I want this term by itself, and I'm going to move it to the left side. So now it becomes positive 2A times C cosine of B. And I want everything else on the left, so I'll leave this one alone. A squared plus C squared is already on the right side, I want to move this term over there, so it's going to be minus B squared. Our goal is to get 2 cosine of B by itself, so I divide both sides by 2AC. Cosine of B is equal to A squared plus C squared minus B squared all over 2A. C. Okay, so just like we did, that process is going to be very similar whether you're solving for cosine of A, cosine of B, or cosine of C. So now we're working with this. Let's go ahead and we can plug in values now. So our A squared is going to be, opposite of A is 4. C squared is 6 squared. B squared is 3 squared. Okay, and then we have 2 times A times C. That calculation is going to simplify to 43 in the numerator and 48 in the denominator. So cosine of B is equal to that, and we want to know angle B. So just like previously, we take the cosine inverse of each side, and this will give us angle B is approximately 26.4 degrees. Okay, good. Now I have two options for angle C. I can either do this same process, just like we've done for A and B, to find angle C, or what else can I do? Add it together. I could say angle A plus angle B plus angle C. I don't know. I'm going to look for that. Should total to be 180 degrees altogether. So then that would make angle C approximately 117.3 degrees. Okay, next example, solve the triangle. This time they just labeled the triangle in respect to sides and angles, but they gave us this information. So I'm going to go ahead and plug in what they gave me. So A is 4, B is 7, and capital C is 40 degrees. So recalling what we know, we're going to be using law of cosines here. So let's work with the side first. So I have this side that was given to me and this side that was given to me. Let's find side C. So using law of cosines, if you flip back to your formula page, that would be C squared is equal to A squared plus B squared minus 2AB cosine of angle C. Right? So first thing of all, determine what side you're looking for, pull the formula that's going to give you that. Let's plug in our value for A, so that's going to be 4 squared, B is 7 squared, A is 4, B is 7, times the cosine of 40 degrees. That's what C squared equals. How do we find C? We'll take the square root of that, right? So you square root this side and you square root this side as well. So you'll get C is equal to square root of 16 plus 49 minus, I'm just going to leave that represented 2 times 4 times 7 cosine of 40 degrees. Put this in your calculator to find that C is approximately 4.70. Okay? Alright, so all of our sides are solved for. We just found that this C was approximately 4.70. Actually, I'm not going to label it up there, so in the copy it won't show. Alright, so we found side C. Next task is to find either angle A or angle B. I'm just going to go ahead and find angle A, and I'm going to come back here where we solve for cosine of A and use this because we've already done the work for that. And it's pretty consistent. So we're going to have cosine of A is equal to B squared plus C squared minus A squared over 2BC. Okay, now let's plug in our given information. Our B is going to be 7, so that's 7 squared. C was 4.70 squared. Okay, and we'll put this in our calculator and we'll have cosine of A is equal to approximately, okay, if I simplify my numerator and simplify my denominator, next I will take cosine inverse of each side. Not a lot of room here, so cosine inverse of this entire fraction. Be careful to plug that in. We should find out that angle A is approximately 33.2 if I round to the tenths. Okay, and now that we're down, we have two angles. We have angle C, we have angle A. We're just going to 33.2 degrees plus angle B, we don't know, plus angle C, which is 40 degrees, should all total to 180 degrees, so that allows for us to find B, which is approximately 106.8 degrees.